Hello, friends, duelists, and last turn enjoyers. I am back at you again with a new list entitled Last Turn Gates Turbo VMAX Level 10. This is a new list. It is highly experimental. It is likely not very good. However, it is what I have come to you today in order to propose as the new standard version of Last Turn. So, we were working with a Monster Gate sort of strategy last time with. Is that Gaga Gigo? Man, the lore of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so deep. Anyways, anyone who knows me in any capacity understands that I prefer not to play reasoning in my gate decks. I think that Monster Gate is just the better card, and so this is the very first time, I think ever, on the channel that we are playing the card reasoning. And so we're going to complain when they get it correct, because this deck is definitely not in the position to take advantage of cards going to the graveyard as much. But alright, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more thorough about the deck. So we have some monsters. We have Cyberstein. We have Sasuke Samurai number 4. Originally, I didn't have this card. I had some other card. And I was informed by my friends that I needed to play more monsters. They told me that. And so I asked them which ones. And Gulaz, shout out to Gulaz, told me to play Sasuke Samurai number 4. I played 2 test matches with this deck. I called heads every time, and I have not flipped tails. And it flipped maybe 8 times in those 2 matches. And so that's very... You know what? You know what? What is that, right? What is 0.5 raised to the 8th? 0.003. That's actually not as low as I thought it was going to be. That's 1/3 of 1%. Like one of like 300 people will get that. It's actually not that big of a deal. Never mind, it's not that big of a deal. So we got this guy. I'm not super happy with him because he's a level 4, and people do still call level 4 with reasoning. And so there's a chance that we bring him out. We have Hades because he is our guy. We have Fusilier Dragon, the dual mode beast, because it is a great meta target for our friend, the last warrior from another planet. It is also a normal summonable monster for Monster Gate, and so we don't hate that. Plus, it has a lot of attack points. Then we have Demok, because Demok's just good. Pot of Great Graceful Charity. So the strategy for this deck is like there is definitely a potential to go aggro a little bit, but last turn is really kind of what we want to be doing. And so we need, with reasoning specifically, we're going to be milling a whole bunch of cards. And so your question could be like, how are you going to make sure you don't just mill last turn and lose? And I have 2 answers. The first is our friend Different Dimension Capsule. This card has been underperforming. A lot of times people will ruin the capsule. But if they ruin the capsule, it's okay, because we're playing 2. We also have a Feather of the Phoenix. It's pretty neat because you can stack whatever card you want. You can pitch whatever card you want. We can pitch Demok, stack something. I mean, you can pitch Demok, stack Demok, and then activate Monster Gate is a thing that you can do. It's pretty lossy, but it's something you can do. And so I'm excited for Feather. I want Feather to work out, because if Feather works out, I can buy the ultimate rare versions online, which I'm sure are very cheap because this card is not very good. We have Reasoning Monster Gate. The Cub Games told me to throw in a Megamorph, because Megamorph plus Stein is just game. We have 3 Giant Trinade. We're not playing Heavy Storm. We have it in the side. We're not playing Heavy Storm. And you guys can't make me play Heavy Storm. 3 Scapegoat, because it's great. 3 Meta, because Scapegoat and Fusilier are great. Premat, because of Dark Magician of Chaos, or Fusilier Dragon, or I guess Sasuke Samurai number 4. Snatch Seal's good card. Swords, buy us some more time. 2 Upstart Goblin. Secret tech with Upstart Goblin is to activate Feather first, and then immediately draw what you need. I'm considering playing Jars of Greed in this list. to support that even more. Maximum copies of Last Turn, maximum copies of Wall of Revealing Light, and 1 Ring of Destruction because it is too good not to play. The side deck is kind of in flux. This is kind of just like a basic one that I put together. There will probably be the case that we're going to want to put in some monsters here. I do kind of really want all of the monsters to be a potential win con off of Last Turn, because this can get Last Warrior. This has a 50-50 to win, which is pretty funny. Not exactly, though, because like Sangan is still a problem. This, I feel like, is a win con. This can be a win con in DMOC. DMOC handles almost all of the cheesers, other than DD Warrior Lady, I suppose. I just got text. I hope you guys didn't hear it. So yeah, those are the monsters. I'm thinking we might want to include some more in the side after we get a sense of how the opponent is going to be calling the numbers. It's unfortunate the Hades is a 6. If it were a 7, that would be great, because people call 6 fearing Jinzo, but we're not going to play Jinzo, because even though we're playing few traps, the traps we do have are important. So we have Heavy Storm, we have MST, we got 1 Mystic Walk, 2 Soul Exchange because we can use it for either summon Hades or I theoretically summon one of these two, maybe, but usually just for Monster Gate. And it's just some monster removal. We have Level Limit and Gravity Bind. I don't plan on using them. I really don't want the deck to be the stall version. I don't want that, and so I don't plan on using them, but they could be good because Sasuke still works in defense mode. Cyberstein and Facilier can still be Last Warrior to make that work. We got some Dust Tornadoes just in case. We got Grave Robber because he's adorable. Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute. Alright. That is the deck. Let us hop on ladder. Let us go before Mount Rated. Join the pool. I still haven't updated the little last turn tracker. And now that we've changed the deck, I gotta change it a little bit. I did a lot of work, and then we only featured it for 1 episode. Cassell 23. Good luck, have fun. 6/4/4 ELO. This is the sort of ELO that you don't have an extra deck. You don't need one. This hand's not bad. This hand could be worse. Thunder Dragon, huh? Collecting 2, huh? We really want a Facilier Dragon. That is not Facilier Dragon. I'm tempted to pass. I don't think we need to set anything. But we have pretty much full combo, and so there's a... Ooh, setting. I don't know about that. Now, do I want to pitch DMOC to hand size, or do I want to set wall? If I pitch it to hand size, then if we get reasoning, they will know that we don't have it. But the chance of drawing pre-mat is pretty nice, and so I think we are just going to pitch it to hand size and pass. It's unfortunate that we have drawn no starters. I went neg 1. Deco is fine. We don't necessarily care about losing life points. Thunder Dragon? And then Chaos? It's a little bit silly. Like, especially if this is Sork, it's just a little bit silly. It's BLS, okay. That's respectable. That's respectable. Unfortunately, this means that we would have to activate last turn in the standby phase, because we can not allow him to banish our guy. That's pretty funny. That actually helps us. I guess we can get burned. Snatch, steal? Wow, that is unfortunate. We are playing against the burn. He sent me the preemptive GG. The preemptive GG. I guess we do want the walk, probably. Could bring in some dust tornadoes, perhaps. I do not think that we will need to respect the back row as much, and so we can take out maybe even 2 Tornade. Maybe even 2 Tornade, maybe even 3 Tornade? Maybe even 3 Tornade. Well, that was not a stellar performance. This is a little bit better. Let's go ahead and activate. We're gonna want a reasoning here, or do we want a different dimension capsule first, or neither? I think we will activate different dimension capsule. Banish our friend last turn. I could set the wall, but I don't necessarily care about losing life points. Maybe I do. The Cyberstein's going to be dangerous. I think that we are just going to end the turn, though. Sangantha. Our reasoning is going to be pretty good against this Sangan. Even held Thunder Dragon into the main phase too, so that I would not interact with it in any way. Another feather is not exactly what we would like. We are going to activate reasoning, however. Calling 8s. That is pretty smart. 8 would handle the Sangan. Hopefully we do not hit the Demok. There goes our last turn. We can't feather it back though, actually. Wow, all of our monsters are at the end of the deck. That is unfortunate. Okay, so we can feather whatever we want from these cards. We can feather whatever we want from this collection of cards. I think I want to feather Monster Gate. Monster Gate on top, I believe, is the play. We are going to save this Cyberstein. I could set wall. I could do nothing. I think I'm going to do nothing. Burn is dangerous because there are unspeakable horrors that it could do to us. Setting a monster is not going to be sufficient. That being said, I don't really know if we want to... go into the Cyberstein. That is incredibly unfortunate for us. We hate that. It is definitely the case that Trap Dust Shoot is a horrible card against our deck, but it turns out that they are going to be rewarded for it anyway, which is something that we could not have done anything about. I could have walled and protected Stein, but... So we need to draw a monster or a scapegoat. Hopefully this is not turning on their chaos once again. He activates the Sangan. To get a Morphing Jar. This is an interesting deck. does not. Did I shuffle? I'm gonna go to main phase. Did I shuffle my deck? I did. I did shuffle my deck. Okay, so the remaining cards in deck are Facilier Dragon, which is perfect with meta. Hades, which is perfect. And Sasuke Samurai. Alright, so we're going to activate Monster Gate. Facilier Dragon, the dual mode beast. I checked log, and yep. Though I could be playing 3 Cyberstein, and so it is not actually that crazy to have. I think I am going to just blast this. I think I am just going to blast this because I would take a draw. I would take a draw here. Look at this Venomoth. It looks kind of derpy. The eyes look a little bit derpy. The eyes are looking a little bit derpy. But see, we assembled the combo. So if there's nothing he can do, we have won the game. No. Has to be normal summonable. Also, he cannot summon a monster anyway. He could not summon any monster. No problem. We can take a little bit of time to consider what we might want to be doing here. I could bring in some spell trap stuff. I am realizing that I should have moved an MST instead of 2 Dust Tornado, though Dust Tornado does have the benefit of being able to set additional back row. But that doesn't really necessarily matter. I was playing around with non-aggression area, and then I was informed by my friends that that is not a good card, but I was told by another friend, a more supportive friend, that I could use Dust Tornado plus non-aggression area to set it up, and that's pretty fun. I'm still thinking I might want to try out that card in this deck. I think it could be good because it doesn't rely on specific monsters. But yeah, that duel felt pretty good. We were pretty behind. We have not drawn a single scapegoat, which is our primary defense mechanism. I don't think we require sighting, though. I could bring in a floodgate. To be honest. He does play like Ojama Trio. I'm gonna bring in 1 floodgate over 1 Dust Tornado. I'm gonna bring in 1 and see if that works out. This hand is what I would say is excellent. I would use the E word. I don't use the E word often or lightly, but I use it in this instance because it is that excellent. We need a meta though. We have a Watcher. You guys cannot see the Watcher, but we have one. And now I'm nervous. He's drawn Thunder Dragon every start of the game. He is playing 6 in his deck, and so it is not surprising that he would get Thunder Dragon. You might be thinking, if he's playing 6, why does he not add more from Thunder Dragon? But you can only add 2 per Thunder Dragon, and so that is why. Alright, I could Graceful Charity here. But I'm tempted to not do that. I'm tempted just to Scapegoat and get an additional draw. I could Reasoning, which is another possibility. Maybe I just Graceful then. I'm gonna Graceful. I'm going to give him 3 seconds to think, and then I will draw my cards. These cards are quite good. However, they are also kind of redundant, and so I do not think we need these 2 cards. I think we will begin with the reasoning. We have this feather to get back individual cards. He will be calling 8. He called 7 because he's so scared, but he does not know that we have the 7 in hand. Maybe he saw us ditch, ooh, D-Mock. That's pretty good. He saw us ditch the wall, and he became afraid. Unfortunately, we can't just get last turn, because if we could, we would just pretty much win. If there were... I could just get Pot of Greed. We do pretty much just win. I'm going to get Pot of Greed. I'm going to feather back last turn. I'm going to get Graceful Charity. I'm going to get Graceful Charity. Okay. We're going to feather, and we're going to ditch this Scapegoat, I believe. Maybe the Facilier. I'm going to ditch the Scapegoat, because I want him to keep calling 7. I will give him 3 seconds to think. To top of deck. And then we can immediately draw it with our Graceful Charity. This is unfortunate because we really would rather have that on the field. We could sack D-Mock or this Reasoning, so we don't need Snatch Steal. And I am tempted to throw away Facilier. But I want him to call 7. But I think we have to. He called 7 anyway. Sasuke Samurai number 4. Very, very funny. Now, the question is, do I want to get rid of D-Mock or do I want to get rid of Sasuke? I think I want to get rid of Sasuke. This was kind of greedy because TT destroys us, but I assumed that he would have activated that anyway. This is also greedy because MST destroys us. Alright, we're going to run as long as we can in this turn. Ring of Destruction is fine. Hopefully nothing bad happens to D-Mock. Alright, well we have to activate it now. Hopefully he has nothing that can destroy D-Mock. I don't think he will. He quit the duel. He did not say GG. He quit the duel. Now, you guys might remember, if we scroll up, in the first duel, he wrote GG to me. He wrote GG to me when he stomped me, but then when I stomped him, he left the duel. 4-6-2 yellow. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, so as you guys can see, this is definitely a combo deck. The style of play is dissimilar to the style of play we had before, where it was more of an aggro deck. This is, oh, this person, Charlie Mad, was the person who was watching us, and so they know what we are on, which is not really what we want. I'm going to turn off my phone. I'm recording this very early in the morning, and yet I am still receiving Messages? I'm sorry if you heard the ding. Alright, so this opening hand is quite good. We have this Trunade plus Swords combo, which is powerful. Alright, we might not have that forever. Hit him with the thumb. He hit our scapegoat. Maybe I don't need swords. I don't think I need swords, because we're going to go with this goat meta thing, and so I don't think we need swords. Snatch steal. Please trap dust shoot us. You did not. Okay. Set. Pass. Kind of wish we had held on to our swords. We do not need 2 Trunades. Breaker is fine. We will be getting the yellow goat this time. Okay. That's fine. A little bit odd, but we don't hate it. I could reasoning. I'll hold on to it though. I don't think we need it right now. We have no combo pieces, and so we're not in a rush to get in. We don't know what they're playing. This feels like control because they're playing TT, I guess, but we have equalized card advantage. A monster gates. I still don't think we want to make a play. I think we're still gonna pass. We have passed like 4 turns in a row, which is pretty funny. We will make a play next turn. We have this snatch steal, and so we kind of want them to summon a monster, to be perfectly frank. He's like, dude, please play a card. And I'm like, I refuse. I tried to play a card once and you overreacted. Alright, we have this wall. It might be time. It might be time. It might be time. It might be. I don't really want to set anything is the thing. I could set wall. I'm gonna set wall. If he hits this wall, I don't really care. Sasuke Samurai number 4. Okay. Now I think we attempt to just go in, probably. So we're gonna use our very first Trunade, I believe. This should scare him. Okay. So we are playing a similar deck to ours, I suppose. That disinclines me to do anything more. I could just pass even. I could set wall and pass. I'm gonna set wall and pass. I don't even think we summon Sasuke. I don't think we care that he has goats. That actually limits the amount of damage he's able to put on board. And if he's playing like a control strategy, which I suspect he is, then that's even better. I think this deck has a pretty fair matchup against control. And this is our, I think we have the inevitability in this that we will like eventually draw the combo that we need. Another giant trade. Oh. Oh. He had to discard to hand size. That makes sense. I believe we're just going to set to Trunade and pass. Riveting gameplay. Very interesting. Venomoth. We went +1 because he did, in fact, discard Snatch Steal. Kaiku's rough. That's fine. And by rough, I mean we don't care about that at all. We do not care about Kaiku at all. A feather is not bad. A feather of the Phoenix is not bad. It makes me feel that I should use this Trinade and we should attempt to play the game. Ring? Okay. Who are we ringing? Interesting. Okay, we're out of Cyberstein range. That's actually pretty smart. We will reasoning here. He no longer has to care about Cyberstein. So he really, I think, should probably call 8s. Realistically. Depending on how much he knows about. He did watch, I think, only one of our games, and so he called 3. That is not the card number that you should be calling. Dark Ruler Hades. I was hoping that we would be able to mill some more cards from that. I am not going to mince words with you all. I wish we had milled some more cards. Alright, so I can Snatch Steal and then Monster Gate, but I don't think I want to. I think we are going to Monster Gate this Sasuke away. Alright, we got different Dimension Capsule minimally. We want to mill over one of our last turns. We got Cyberstein. That is actually incredibly unfortunate. That is really not what we wanted to see. I think a feather for different dimension capsule is going to be too slow. But I don't know if there's much else we can do. Maybe it's not too slow. I think it is. I think it is too slow. Big think. I typed think wrong, and that makes me uncomfortable. Maybe I don't want to use the feather, but I think not using the feather is even slower and therefore even worse. So I think we are going to use the feather. Is it for different dimension capsules, the thing? We're pretty low on life points, and he's probably going to suck this Dark Ruler. He's probably going to suck the Dark Ruler, but then we can suck his suck. This is so hard. I think we are going to feather. We're going to ditch the giant Trunade, I think. To stack a different dimension capsule. It's very bad. Maybe we just stack Pot of Greed. I'm going to stack Pot of Greed. I think that's greedier play, but it is the one I am comfortable with. We are not going to attack because we do not care how many monsters this duelist has on field. We actually like that he's clogged a little bit. We are fully expecting a Thousand Eyes Restrict. You're fully expecting that. I have sleepies in my eyes. I think it's you. I'm not having issues. He hurt our wall. I think we do let it go. We could pay it down, but there's a chance that he could kill us this turn. Yeah, he is doing the play we expected, but I'm not super upset about that. Because we can make our own next turn. Gonna kill our Cyberstein. He was pretty good with Kaiku. What are we getting? The Kaiku, interesting. Huh. Out of greed. I will be setting the Snatch Steal first. Ask his permission, but if he does not respond in 2 seconds, I will just do it. Hey, we drew our last turn like we were supposed to. Circumstances have changed in the past turn, though. You can take 1,000. Yugioh, oh man, we need to take some life point damage. Now here's the question. I can take Yugioh meta, but I kind of want to save this meta for last turn. I think we probably just pass. This is very greedy. I want to be clear. This is very greedy. I'm gonna set to scare him. Heavy Storm's already gone, and so we don't mind taking 2450 one time. Unfortunate that we still have some extra life points here. Reasoning. Can I do anything about that? If I reasoning and summon it in attack mode, what is left? Just Demok. Demok can get us something good, and so we will be reasoning here. He called 3 last time. He should call 8, though. There's really kind of no reason for him not to call 8. He did call 8, that is correct. Hopefully we will not deck ourselves out. I said, hopefully we will not deck... Oh my gosh, are we gonna lose? Okay. Well, that was unfortunate. Now we have to win quickly. The boy. Alright, what are we doing here? I could Snatch Steal. If I could Snatch Steal Kaiku and bait him. I would take 650, which is not enough life points. It's tough. I could just Snatch Steal. Here's the line. No, it's not the line. I was like, I could take this. I could take like a token. I don't know. It's this meta. I need to use it twice effectively. This guy is very nice to let us think a little bit longer. I could take you. I would take 650, which is just not enough life points. I could take a goat token. I could take you. I guess there's really no reason not to take him. Has pre-mat been? Pre-mat has been, okay. Ugh, I just don't think that there's a way. I just don't think that there's a way. It's not looking great. Snatch Steal. I just want to take more life points. I just need a little bit more life point take. I guess I take the Kaiku. I could figure out what cards are remaining in deck and then make an educated choice based on that, but I just don't want to do that because that's going to take forever. And so I do think that we're going to Snatch Steal the Thousand Ice Restrict, probably. Or maybe it's the Kaiku. If If you guys see a better solution to this in the comments, let me know. I'm gonna check. There's a King Dragoon. It's just not very good. All right, we will take a Snatch Steal on the Thousand Eyes. This person is very funny. They are good spirited. Okay. I could meta it. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna attempt to tie. We're going to attempt to tie the game. He's gonna be like, what? Please don't ruin this for me. We are going to activate this in standby phase, because there's really no reason not to. If he can out it, that's quite good. I think getting a draw here was probably our best case scenario. I think getting a draw here was our best case scenario. We are getting some knowledge from the opponent. They did have Sangan. Okay, so this is a control deck. Mirror. Oh, you could have owned me. You could have owned me. I could have gotten owned. Perhaps he does not have a monster in deck remaining. There are only 24 cards. Charlie Mad, in all caps Mad, is the least mad duelist ever. If any other person would be very irritated by this. I will offer him a draw. Alright, well that was very funny. I enjoyed that. I think the soul exchanges are quite good. I think that these are also not bad. I don't know what we want to take out, though, is really the question. Maybe we don't need these, to be honest, because the control's pretty slow. I don't think that we're going to be winning through Megamorph this time. I'm actually not sure we actually need swords either. It could be good, though. I think it's fine. Maybe just one true nade we can trim. I think everything else is fine. That was pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if there was a way we could have won that. I think probably not. It's just sometimes it's very difficult to get yourself down the correct amount of life points. Maybe when he destroyed our wall, we could have activated it and taken some amount of life points. But it's kind of difficult to say. You really have to, you have to know. You have to be able to see the future about how much damage he's able to produce. Plus, I think we had a few intervening turns. But suffice to say, I think this is probably going to be the last match of the video. I think that will probably be it. I wonder what the thumbnail should be. What should the thumbnail be? I kind of want to include the guy saying GG game 1 and then quitting. I kind of want to include that because that's funny to me. But our hand right here is pretty excelente. Anti-spell fragrance. Oh no. That's not good. Okay, well at least we know we're not going to get heavy stormed. Do I want to set 4? That seems kind of greedy. That seems a little bit greedy, but I do want access to all these cards, and so I think we are going to set 4. Anti-spell fragrance is not a card you typically see. Maybe this will be the thumbnail. Please no. We are at least protected for 1 turn from the heavy storm. This could be a really good card, though. My only saving grace. A Deco is pretty excellent. However, we can activate Scapegoat now if we want. Cannot activate them until their next turn. Oh, so we cannot. Did you guys know that? I cannot activate it, can I? ELS is not bad. I can't activate it. Right? Or, we'll look that up later. Or, well, I mean, we'll take the 16. I'm gonna think on this. We're gonna go look it up because I think I probably would activate Scapegoat here. We're gonna quickly look this up. Fortunately, GoForMart.com does not work if the page isn't full screen, which is one of my big complaints about the website. Anti-spell. Sad. Field spells. Field spells is very funny. Okay, this doesn't really say, and so I assume that we have to take this. I assume we have to. I could be wrong, but I assume we do. Sasuke number 4 is pretty funny. Okay, we will be soul exchanging this guy. Graceful Pot, different dimension. I don't really know what we want. We kind of want Demock, of course. We do have this. We have, it's either Demock or Hades, and so it's 50-50. Oh, I completely forgot about Cyberstein. That is also an option, and among the options, that is the worst option. So we will be putting him in defense mode. We cannot attack this turn. We have this feather. We are feathered. We're feathered up. We can get a wall. Do we want a wall, though? I think we don't care about the wall. What do we care about? If not the wall, then what? Monster Gate could be good. Monster Gate could be excellent. This anti-spell fragrance is kind of a pain in the butt, though, for any spells. Don't want to think too long on this. Monster Gate could be quite good. Yeah, I think we probably want Monster Gate. Probably. Target Monster Gates. I think it's super slow. This might be wrong. Top deck. Do I set last turn? I think no. Heavy Storm here would be actually gigafine. We would be fine with that. We are in a precarious spot. This anti-spell fragrance is kind of really annoying. So I guess we want MST Dust Tornadoes. Your monster attacks mine. Just the one. It doesn't really matter though. This guy's so nice. This guy is like literally the nicest guy ever. This guy's so nice. I wish I were as nice as him. I feel kind of bad because I feel like I felt like I used to be a nice person, but now I've entered like a slightly prickly phase. And I don't really mean to be. I want to be happy. I want to be enjoying my time with people like Charlie Mad and Snatch Steal. Sheesh, that's pretty bad. Okay. There's nothing that can stop Scapegoat, though, right? Even adding life points is, like, not a good thing. What's he gonna get? Probably, like, Ryu Senshi? Which would be pretty bad for last turn. It would not be good. Yeah, this Monster Gate's gonna be pretty gnarly, because we have to set it. This Scapegoat will protect us. Oh, no. Okay. Alright. We are strategically gonna take a hit from one of these mons. Okay, we're gonna take a strategic hit from 2 of these mons. One of these mons. Yes. Which is the luckiest goat color? I believe the luckiest is orange, and so we will be going with orange. I think we lose no matter what, though, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe he'll get a particularly bad Gatling roll or something. Yeah, I don't think Monster Gate will do anything for us here. I guess it's possible if he gets all 3 tails. Now I think it's impossible. One more flip. You gotta flip 3. Alright, that I believe is the end of the game. I do not think we can handle that. Two headses. Okay, we have a viewer. We have a viewer. Alright, I'm gonna hit him with the heart. Hit him with the heart. Alright, we have to get rid of this anti-spell fragrance. We do not like that at all. I do think that we probably want to bring in the floodgates. I want to bring in the floodgates this time. I like the soul exchanges. Those worked out pretty well. I want to bring in the floodgates though. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of 1 capsule. We don't need that. I'm gonna keep all the feathers though. Trinade seems poor compared to MST. And then we can shave 1 other card of my choosing. Maybe Sasuke. I'm gonna go to Sasuke. I don't think we need him. Two headses. That's very fun. Okay. These cards are good. These cards are good cards. Do I want to set additional cards on top of? No, I think we just set the one. We do have a baked-in scapegoat meta play. Feather's a really pretty card. Like whoever designed the background of a Feather of the Phoenix went a lot harder than they had to go. And I like that it returns a card to the top of the deck because that's the same concept as Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Okay, do we want to activate it? I think no. Yes? No. Demok is a terrible draw. That is fine. Demok is a terrible draw. Alright, we'll set, and because we do not really have anything for Feather, we are just going to pass. I am glad that I did not activate Scapegoat because I would not have been able to activate Meta. And I want to be able to use both on the same turn. If he summons nothing else, we will... Oh, Mobius? Oh no. This person is ready. Charlie Mad, you are ready to counter our deck. I don't know what we're going to do. We do have Wall of Revealing Light, which is going to be pretty good. I don't know how he outs Wall without a spell. Reasoning. Okay. How is he going to out this without a spell? He has Ring, and so we have to be aware of that. And so I don't think we can go down to 200 life points. I do think we are going to activate this for 3,000. Oh, he did not let me pay. I am going to pay 3 because that is what I would have paid. And I do not want to be a cheater. That would be cheating. What a pleasant guy. All right, we are owned, and this person deserves it. Charlie Mad, you owned us, and I don't feel bad about that at all. We lose. GG, well played. Well played. GG, well played. I guess we should have activated the Scapegoat, but I think we would have gotten owned no matter what. We would have gotten owned no matter what. And so I guess Anti-Spell Fragrance has to be the thing. Or maybe it's Spell Canceller, maybe it's both in the thumbnail. I think it's probably this guy. This guy's good. Yeah, I took a little bit of a break because I was cooking this deck. And then I got cooked, so maybe to cook again. Maybe I need some anti-spell fragrance. Aw, this guy's so nice. Aw. Alright, we're at 4-5-3 yellow. 4-5-3. 4-5-3. Ooh, we took a hit. That's okay. I don't mind taking a hit. I don't mind taking a hit when the duelist we play is a friend. ELO is meant to be shared, and we want to share it with the people we like. And so, thank you to that duelist. You are awesome. I am realizing, looking at my microphone, that this has been quieted this whole time, and so I'm hoping that the audio is okay. I speak pretty close to the microphone, so I think it's going to be okay either way, but I think it was meant to be higher than this. Uh-oh. So, see you guys next time. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. Let me pop back at the deck for a second. Let me pop back. Let me know what you guys think. I think this guy might be too spicy. We never used him though, and so he wasn't the thing that kept us back. I think the deck performed pretty much like we wanted it to perform. We just had, when people have like anti-reasoning gate sides, which a lot of people do, it can be pretty painful. And so, I don't know. Maybe there's something that we can do in the side to sort of prevent us from getting owned. Be a little bit less spell reliant, because we are playing 29 spells. So, anyways, all right, I will see you guys next week. Hopefully I'll have an episode. GGP Atlanta is this weekend, and I'm hanging out with the boys there, and so I'll probably have to record it on like Monday, which is going to be on 4 for me. But I will attempt to get that done. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I can record it today. I don't know. Bye.